Hello everyone and welcome to the world of Bridge. Today I want to walk you through the very basics of the game and the flow of the game so that you can play your very first game of Bridge. Now you might have heard of this game from your grandma and your grandpa and they're like, you should play, and you're like, no, I don't want to play, it's an old person's game. It's not an old person's game at all. It takes a lot of logic, a lot of thought, a lot of memory, stuff that a young mind like yours can really adapt to quickly. I personally have been playing the game for 5 years now, and I have really enjoyed it. The deeper I go, the more interesting it gets, and I hope that you get the same experience with it. So without further ado, let's get into how to play bridge. In order to play bridge, all you need is a deck of playing cards, 4 people, and a table. When you sit down at the table, everyone is identified by a cardinal direction. You've got north, south, east, and west. Those 4 people are divided into 2 teams called partnerships. North and south are partners, and east and west are partners. As a partnership, you're going to work together towards a common goal. So there are 2 phases in a bridge hand. There's the bidding, and then there's the play of the hand. In the bidding, a partnership makes a claim to how many tricks they're going to take. They also set the trump suit. And then there's the play of the hand, where we actually determine whether or not the bidding was accurate. So you may be wondering, what is a trick? Well, a trick is not like a magic trick. Bridge players are card players, not magicians. A trick is actually a round of cards played in which every player at the table plays a card, and the highest card of the suit led wins the trick. So in this example, the 8 of clubs is led, and the ace of clubs would win because it's the highest card that is a club on the trick. Now on this next example, the 2 of hearts is led, which means that the 6 of hearts actually wins here because the ace of diamonds, although it is the highest card on the trick, it is not a heart, so it doesn't count. Now there's a difference when there is a trump suit. So in this next example, let's assume that clubs are the trump suit, which means it's the master suit. It can beat anything else. Even though the ace of spades was led here, the 2 of clubs actually wins the trick because it is the highest trump on the trick. So once trump gets involved, the highest trump is the winner. In order to start a hand of bridge, shuffle a deck of cards and deal the entirety of the deck out. This means that each player should be getting 13 cards. To commence the bidding, the dealer is the first person to bid. So let's say in this example, North is the dealer. North is going to make the first bid, and then it continues clockwise. So East is going to bid next, and then South, and then West. And it keeps going around until the bidding stops. Bids consist of 2 things. The first is a number. This number represents how many tricks you think you can take on a hand. And the second thing is a suit. Now this is the trump suit that you wish to play in on the hand. Now it's very important to note that number you bid isn't actually the number of tricks you're committing yourself to on the hand. You're committing yourself to that many tricks plus 6. So let's say you bid 2 spades. You're actually saying, I'm going to be taking 8 tricks in spades. This is only fair because you are setting the trump suit, so you are probably choosing your strongest suit. You need to be committing yourself to more than just 2 tricks, because both sides could probably easily make 2 tricks. There has to be a little bit more risk there. So just remember that every time you bid something, you're committing yourself to that many tricks plus 6. But bidding isn't as simple as saying, I can take this many tricks with this trump suit. You also need to take into consideration what your partner has. But how do you do that? Well, bridge players have made bidding less of a demands game and more of a conversation. Bids have become a language, and each bid is encoded with information about your hand. So let's say you bid 1 heart. You're telling your partner, hey, I've got 5 hearts. And now your partner might say, 2 hearts. I've got 3 hearts, so we have a heart fit. Our hands fit together well. So when you're making a bid, you're actually trying to communicate something to your partner about what's in your hand, and they're going to try to communicate what their hand is to you. And then it's all about putting the puzzle together and finding the best spot based on your hands combined. It's important to note that in bidding, there's a hierarchy to the suits, so not all suits are created equal. In bridge, clubs is the weakest suit, then diamonds, then hearts, then spades, and then there's no trump, which is the strongest one, which means that you don't want there to be a trump suit in the hand that you're playing. This suit hierarchy has some very important implications for bridge bidding. For example, let's say that West bids one club. This means that North has the ability to bid one diamond, they can bid one heart, they can bid one spade, they can bid one no trump. They can bid all of those suits because all of those other suits have a stronger hierarchy than the club does. But let's say that West bids one heart initially. North, if they wanted to show their diamonds, would now have to bid two diamonds because diamonds is a weaker suit than hearts. They would have to bid two clubs because clubs is a weaker suit than hearts. But they could bid one spade if they have spades because spades is a stronger suit than hearts. And they could also bid one no trump because no trump is a stronger suit than hearts. In bidding, you have to keep in mind some suits are stronger than other suits, which means you might have to bid higher if you want to show one of the weaker suits. Now that you know all of that about bidding, let's take a look at a bidding sequence example. In this example, North is the dealer, so North is going to make the first bid. North starts the bidding off with a pass. East is going to bid one heart. South passes. West bids two hearts. North bids two spades. East is passing and South is passing, and then West follows up with a three diamonds bid. North's going to pass, and then East is going to bid three hearts. And everyone passes after that. This whole bidding sequence is what we call an auction. So what are they saying in this auction? Well, it looks like East is saying that they have hearts. West also likes hearts. North pipes in with spades. They probably don't have a really strong hand because they passed initially, but they didn't want the auction to stop in two hearts. Then East passes because they don't have much more. And then South really just is being quiet. They don't have much at all. West doesn't want to leave it in two spades, and they give their partner an option to like diamonds as well. And East decides to stick with the hearts. That is basically what is being said in the auction. Now there are a few things to note about this auction. First, we've introduced the concept of passing. If you don't have a very strong hand, you can pass. You don't have to bid with a weak hand. The next thing that you might notice about the auction is just because you passed before doesn't mean that you have to pass throughout, because look how North, they passed on their first bid, but then they bid two spades later. Another thing to note is that the hierarchy of suits is followed here. So over two hearts, North bids two spades, and that can be done because spades is a stronger suit than hearts. But then when West bids three diamonds, they couldn't have bid two diamonds because diamonds is a weaker suit than spades. Finally, the auction ended after three passes, and this is the sign that an auction has ended. Once there have been three passes, that means that the auction is over. And that leaves us with the contract. The contract is the final bid, and it is basically what buys the auction. So East has bought this auction with a bid saying that they're going to take 9 tricks with the heart suit as trump. A contract always has 3 components to it: a number, a suit, and a direction. First, the number. The number defines how many tricks need to be taken in order for the contract to be fulfilled. The 3 says that you have to take 9 tricks in order for the contract to be fulfilled. Remember, when you are bidding something, you are committing to taking that many tricks plus 6. This applies in the contract as well. The suit determines what the trump suit is going to be, and if it is no trump there, it just means that there is no trump suit in this contract. And finally, the direction. The direction determines who is playing the contract, and you determine the direction from the bidding. So let's take a look at the example that we had earlier. The person who is playing the contract is always the first person in the partnership that bid the suit of the final bid. First, we look at what was the final bid: 3 hearts. So we need to look for whoever had the first bid in the partnership that was hearts, and that would be East. So in this case, this contract, 3 hearts, will be played by East. Now let's take a look at this example. We need to determine who is playing the contract 2 hearts. 2 hearts is the final bid, so it will be the contract. We just need to figure out who is playing it. So we look at what the final bid was. What was the suit? Hearts. who was the first person in the partnership to bid it? Oh, it was North. So North is going to be playing 2 hearts in this scenario. And that's all you have to know about the flow of bidding. But there is one very important thing about bidding that I left out, and that was the express specific meanings of certain bids. And I didn't get into this because this is the bread and butter of Bridge. This has so much theory, and it's really, really interesting. If I were to start talking about it now, I would go on for hours. But that's what makes the game so beautiful. It's so deep, and there's so much to learn, and there's a lot of theory behind it. And in the end, when you actually understand it, you feel like you have this telepathy with your partner. You have prearranged agreements of what bids mean before the Bridge game. And then when you use them and it works and you find the right contract and you're understanding them, it just feels so good. And then like when you make the contract, it's just the cherry on top. And that's only half of it. Speaking of which, let's get into how to play the hand. In order to start the play of the hand, we first need to look at the contract. Let's use the contract that we previously determined. 3 hearts by East. In this contract, East is playing the contract, and they are who we call the declarer. The play of the hand always starts with the person to the left of the declarer. In this case, that would be South. After South plays their first card, play continues clockwise. So the next person to play would be West. But first, West is who we call the dummy. They're the partner of the declarer. They lay down all of their cards for the entire table to see. And when it's Dummy's turn, Declarer tells Dummy what to play. That's why they're called the Declarer. They declare what cards Dummy should play. And the Dummy is called the Dummy because they're dumb. Wait, no, that's not right. No, the Dummy is called the Dummy because they don't have to make any decisions on the hand. Declarer always tells them what to play. So Declarer effectively is playing both their hand and the Dummy's hand. The Declarer and the Dummy combined are called the offense, and the other partnership is who we call the defense. Now that we have all of the vocabulary out of the way, let's take a look at a play of the hand example. In this example, we can see all of the hands. This is just for clarity, but remember, you won't be able to see all of the hands when you're actually playing a hand of Bridge. Now remember, East is the declarer of this contract. This means the person to the left of East is going to make the first play, and that would be South. So South starts off by leading the ace of clubs. Now the first rule of card play is that you have to follow suit. This means that if you have a card in the suit led, you have to play it, no matter what. After this lead, West lays their entire hand out for everyone to see. And now, Declarer tells Dummy to play the 5 of clubs. North plays the 2 of clubs, and now East, although they don't want to, plays the Queen of clubs. It's their only club, so they have to play it, so that they follow suit. Since the ace of clubs is the highest card of the suit led, South wins this trick, meaning that North-South get a point. Since South won that trick, they get to lead the next trick. They play the King of clubs. Declarer tells Dummy to play the 7 of clubs, and now North plays the 3 of clubs. East, not having any more clubs, can now play something else. Now remember, we're playing in 3 hearts, which means that hearts are the trump suit. So Declarer plays the 2 of hearts, winning this trick for East-West. Now since Declarer won this trick, they get to lead the next trick. They play the 2 of spades, South plays the 7 of spades, Declarer tells Dummy to play the ace of spades, and then North plays the 5 of spades, winning another trick for East-West. Since Dummy won this trick, Declarer has to tell Dummy to start the next trick. Declarer tells Dummy to lead the 9 of clubs. North plays the Jack of clubs, and East trumps it again, winning another trick for East-West. And now East plays the King of spades, pitching a diamond from Dummy, and that's another trick for East-West. Declarer then leads the 4 of spades, trumping it in the Dummy, and now tells Dummy to lead the 3 of diamonds. North flies the ace of diamonds, East throws away a low one because he can't beat the ace, and then South plays a low diamond. North won that trick, so they get to continue. They play the Queen of diamonds, East wins that with the King of diamonds, and now East plays a low spade. South, being out of spades, decides to trump it, but wait, West is also out of spades, so East tells West to play the Queen of hearts. North plays the Queen of spades under that, and East-West get another trick. Declarer tells Dummy to play the King of hearts, and that wins a trick. And Declare tells Dummy to play the 4 of hearts, which Declare then wins with the Jack of hearts. Declare then plays the Ace of hearts, and now East plays the 7 of diamonds, giving the last trick to North. In the end, East-West took 10 tricks, while North-South took 3 tricks. Remember, the contract only required East-West to take 9 tricks, so they made their contract and got a little bit extra on top of that. Overall, the play of the hand is the most important part of Bridge to master, understanding how the cards interact with each other, recognizing patterns, and calculating percentages of plays working. Advanced partnerships even have intricate signaling systems on defense. Not only is the bidding in Bridge extremely deep, so is the play of the hand. And in that way, it feels like Bridge is 2 complex games just smoshed together. I mean, not even the best of the game can play with no error. And that's what makes it such a great game. There's an infinite amount to learn. So if you don't mind joining me in the obsession, grab a friend, partner up, and start playing some Bridge. Who knows, maybe we'll see each other at the Bridge table someday.